Mayor Marianne Meed Ward joins us this morning with an update on what's happening in Burlington. Busy spot down at the waterfront on Monday, of course.
Very big day, the eclipse. It is my second time seeing an eclipse. So the first time, my son is a sky watcher, 2017, we drove down to North Carolina to watch that.
Cool.
So I knew what was coming. I knew how spectacular this was. So we had a viewing party, council, myself and council sponsored a viewing party with 20,000 people apparently.
Down at Spencer Smith Park.
Down at Spencer Smith Park. I had one job, that was to bring the sun. So it did clear just at the moment of totality, but it was absolutely spectacular.
Okay. Also, Burlington is going to be hosting all of the big city mayors from across Ontario next week.
We are. It's our annual general meeting. So OBCM is the mayors of the 29 largest cities in Ontario. That's above 100,000 people. And we represent collectively over 70% of the population of Ontario. So we meet, we do a lot of advocacy. We've been doing a lot of advocacy to the government on budgets, development charges, housing, mental health, and addiction. And so those will be some of the main topics at our AGM, where we look back to see, you know, what have we achieved. And there's some great news because the province has been listening to us with some of the infrastructure funding announcements and the funding for mental health and addictions. But there's more work to do. So very excited to host right here in Burlington my 29 colleagues.
Yeah, and it's really important to show how well everybody's working together, like as a collective voice.
It is critical, yes. And the province, the federal government does listen to mayors. We're the closest level of government to the people. We know what's happening in our community. We have the pulse. And so they do consult with us and they do listen to us. Sometimes it takes some time and we have to, you know, push a little, but that's okay. It's been great, and we have a very collaborative relationship with the province.
Mm-hmm. You're one of the mayors with strong mayor powers.
Yes.
And I understand council wants you to give up some of those powers.
Well, and you know, there's been a lot of misinformation in the community about what this means, what this doesn't.
Set it straight then.
So the legislation actually assigns new responsibilities to the mayors of the cities that accepted a housing pledge. One of those is to present a budget. I have no choice about that. I have to, obviously, to present a budget, but the process includes council involvement. There are a couple of administrative things that I can assign to the CAO, for example, setting the organizational structure, or to council, for example, setting up committees. We've done all that work together as a council, but we have a new CAO coming in like a week and a half, and so it's an opportune time to review. We've had these, we've been under this new legislation for the past 8 months. There's a requirement to post any decisions that are made, so it's very public and transparent. Of the, I'm going to say 18 decisions that have been made, 11 of them were to simply authorize the business of council. So I have to actually approve that, yes, I agree with all of the bylaws that council approved. But there is transparency built in. And so the request has been for those 3 areas where I can either assign the duties to the CAO or to council. Would I consider doing that? So I will have a decision to council later this week, and yeah, I've given it a lot of thought. And again, with the new CAO coming in, it's an opportune time to review how are we doing under this legislation. From my perspective, we've continued to operate in a very collaborative, collegial way. And as I said, there's built-in transparency, so go have a look at the actual decisions that have been made by the mayor, not whatever's rumored and speculated out there. And let me know what you think. It is on the website? Yeah, it's a requirement of the legislation. And so people will see that, as I said, most of the vast majority of decisions have simply been to action things that council did vote on through a democratic process. So the notion that the mayor now runs the show or that council members are simply observers to decision making is simply not true. And so I invite people to get the facts and to really look into this and let me know what you think. I'm always interested to hear what the public has to say.
Right, because you've got a mayor's drop-in.
I do, yes. April 27. So I'm taking it on the road. So I get out of City Hall. I come to where the people are. So it's at the Burlington Center from 12 to 2. No appointment is necessary. We try to limit to 10 minutes apiece. But if we only have a few folks, you can have more time. But if we have a lot, we try to give everybody a little bit. So come by and see me, grab a coffee or some chocolate, whatever suits your fancy. And we were packed the first time we did this. There was a lineup of half hour before we started, but we were able to get to everyone who came by. And if we can't answer the question then and there, we do follow up with people. So it's a great opportunity for people. You know, I understand it can probably be intimidating to call the mayor and say, I want to meet
even
with
to come
you.
into City Hall or to approach you on social media, right? So it's, if you're there in person, it's like, hey, I want to bend your ear
right
about.
here. Come see me. Yes, it's awesome.
Okay, again, so that's April 27th?
27th, yes.
Okay.
Burlington Center, 12 to 2.
Okay, always great chatting with you,
Great to
catching up.
see you.
We'll get the City of Burlington's website, all the links up on our website, chch.com/morninglive.